Texans fans, on this day, 11 October, the Texans defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars in a game days after the firing of Bill O'Brien and elevating of Romeo Crennel as interim head coach. This will mark the turn of the franchise to what we know it as today. Let's go. I'm going to always give you guys a little bit of Texans history because I would like my franchise and I remember some of these days and I like how they correspond with that on this day information. This week in Texans football, we have some news to talk about. I took a pause because I'm thinking about everything is just kind of running through my mind. We have some injury news. We're a next man up mentality for the team. We have to slow it down like I have to slow down my speech. But the Texans are in a next man up kind of phase of football. And I think it's said for every team, the next man up. The Texans have some key injuries across the roster. We're going to talk about those today. And we'll also talk about just kind of what the Patriots look like. We'll talk about the next man up mentality. We'll talk a little bit about the defense. What's going on with Joe Mixon, and we'll also talk about the betting odds, of course, and a little bit about the O-line health. This episode of Sports Social Live, you can watch us on YouTube. You can see some of our episodes on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. We're out there. Follow, like, subscribe. Let's get it. With the next man up mentality, the Texans have to focus on being disciplined. Being disciplined goes past the O-line mistakes. It goes into every phase of the game because we have key special teams players out. We have offensive players out, and we have defensive players out. And, oh, by the way, our coaching staff has to make the right calls when it's time to manage the game. So when talking about the next man up mentality, I believe we have to look into not one, but not two, but three key positions. I think we're going to be looking at receiver, of course. Nico Collins is out. So that means Stefon Diggs, Tank Dell, two receivers who I'm okay with being a 1 and 2 combo are going to have to step up. Stefon Diggs, he's a team player. I don't care what anybody says about that. He's a team player, and he has been showing that he has the ability to make the plays when the ball is put in his hands. He catches the ball. That's it. He catches it. You rarely get drops from him, and he's a gamer. Tank Dell, it seems like he's trending towards an injury-prone receiver, accident-prone, whatever you may call it. But the key factor is when he's in the game, defenses cannot rest. And that's what we need to do. That 1-2 combo, Tank and Stefon. How do we make sure that these players are just on the field? And Bobby has to do a good job of scheming to key these two key players. I'm thinking also about Hutch, our number 3 receiver. Who's going to step up and fill that number 3 receiver role? I like Hutch. Everybody talks about Mitchie. I haven't seen it, and I'm more of a what have you done for me lately type of person. Can Mitch come in and make a good play? Can he do what he's supposed to done as his draft pick is supposed to be? I do not know. I have a hard time just seeing if he's going to make a difference. Hutch is balling. He gets out there and he makes minimal mistakes, and that's what we need. I believe Hutch is in our Texan scheme. He's trying to figure out the weird screens, the run blocking, but I'm okay with what Hutch has been doing, especially making the best out of the opportunities that he's been given. So Hutchinson coming out of there. We have Robert Woods hurt. So Robert Woods is out of the game with a foot injury. That injury right there, it gives way for these receivers like Hutch and Mechie to make an impact to the game, whether it's on offense or in special teams. I know Mechie does not get too much burn on the special teams, but hey, will you step up and play? Are we going to fair catch it every time? Does Tank Dell get those punt return snaps? We shall see. I'm okay either way, but I'd rather Tank focus on offense. We do some end arounds with him or Diggs, Hutch, just get active and not let this Patriots team led by Drake May and a bunch of backups get on our butts this week. And that's what has been a team-wide letdown. And I've spoken to this point, a team-wide letdown by the Texans. You see it in Jacksonville, and every year we seem to get in a stride and we take a step back. And that's not what I want to do or see this week. And this week just kind of sets the picture and tone for a letdown from the Texans. Do we have that letdown this week? I think we are in a better place. Our team is in a better state. Our coaching staff is making better decisions as far as game management is concerned. But I question, are we prepared to take on this ragtag New England Patriots? We don't know what Drake May is going to do when he comes out there. Is he going to run? They can do something crazy. They can just power through and just run the ball. Drake May just does a wildcat option. This is one of those times where offensive coordinators have to protect the QB, and they get kind of creative. We haven't seen Drake May play in the NFL at this high level yet, so him getting his first start against the pressuring Texans defense will be interesting to see. But who steps up? My last factor of stepping up, I always want to talk about the tight ends. I believe we can get more out of our tight end position. The tight ends, Schultz, Stover, and Quintero, I mess up his name all the time. I want to see them get active. I don't want to see soft blocking. I think Schultz is kind of has some more room to expand. He's been balling out a little bit, but we can get more from them and exposing that Patriots soft DB at the safety point. I want to see the tight ends. Stover had a hard go at it against the Vikings. So will Stover come out and make an impact? I believe we will. We'll see Stover. He's going to grow into his shoes and fill those just well, along with Schultz. And I'm okay with that. And that fullback with British Brooks being injured, these tight ends will have to step up. Maybe we see some 2 tight end sets. Who knows? But who steps up for the Texans? Who's going to make that big play? On offense, we have Tank Dell. I think Tank Dell will have a hell of a game. I think Hutch will have a game. But I also think on defense, there will be some talks. Speaking about the defense, they have some key injuries on the defensive side as well. DBs will be mixed and matched. I mean, what can you say? You had two DBs playing at a high level. I got tongue-tied there for the majority of the season. So how do you go and mix and match these guys? It will be interesting to see. This is D'Amico's specialty. I'm concerned about it, but I believe that they'll be able to figure it out. I see a lot of people questioning how the defense will play, but I think with the pressuring and the front seven that we do have, we'll be able to get after these guys. We'll be able to get after the offensive front seven of the New England Patriots, as well as put some pressure on Drake May to make those rough throws, like we did, similar to what we did against Caleb Williams. Towards the end of the game, they were coming at him overwhelming and violent, as said on ESPN. And that's what we need to do as a defensive scheme to just help our DBs out. They are hurting. So what do you think will happen with the DBs? Let me know down in the comments below. On Sports Social Live, on YouTube, we have the TikTok, Twitter, SportsSocialTV. I love what we're doing. I like the content and the interactions that I'm getting on different social media pages. TikTok, I don't know, for some reason we're going up a little bit on there. So check us out on TikTok, Sports Social Live. You'll see this on this day post. It will be every day. I'm gonna post something about the Texans. I love this team. I've been here since 99. Then we dropped that game in 02. Let's go, Texans fans. Let's get it. But back to the DBs. I like how Petry's playing. I was skeptical, but I like how Petry is playing. I like what he's doing in that rover position. I'm okay with him kind of locking down there. I think he'll be coming off the edge and making some big plays this week to put the pressure on Drake May. Drake May is going to have a hard go at it. He should not be successful this week. I don't want this week to be the week that Drake May's the next great quarterback. I'm not trying to hear none of that. I want the front seven of the defense to go crazy. I want D'Amico to scheme up pressures. I'm not trying to have any type of success from Drake May. I know he'll have a pass or two, but they also have a running back out. Put him on his butt this whole game. And that's what the Texans need to do. The Texans need to get after Drake May. And this is serious business. Show that you're that number one team in the AFC South and a top team in AFC. But in order to do that, I think we'll have to keep our offense on the field and just run the ball down the Patriots' throats. And it kind of goes in our favor. I'm thinking that Mixon will be back Mixon this week. I'm okay if he's not, but if he is back on the field and running with that tenacity and giving our offensive line that confidence, Joe Mixon will run the ball down these guys' throat. He's on a revenge kind of game. He is mad about that hip drop tackle that hurt his ankle, and it seems like he's going to come back with that tenacity and grit. Does he need to come back? I'm okay going with the running back stable this week, but if he does come back, it's up, and Mixon's going to go take over this game. I still question the offense, though. I still question how Bobby Slowick meshes the offense. He has to figure out this run, pass tempo that he's going, getting us in third down and long. I don't like that. I think we have the receivers. Well, we had the three-headed monster. Now we have a two-headed monster scheme. He can scheme up a little bit better plays on that first down and maybe second, but not get us in a third and long situation. But I believe that Bobby Slowick will have to be that OC that everybody's giving him credit for. This is the game that he takes a step towards, okay, now you're head coach material. How do you get that? Is he on a hot seat? I'm not saying he's on a hot seat. I'm just saying this is going to set him apart from all the other offensive coordinators out there. He's facing struggles. He's going to make a mistake or two. Everybody makes a mistake. But I do want Bobby Slowick to be the guru that everybody talks him up to be. All these interviews and things, I'm kind of not sold on his genius, but I'm sold on him being a solid offensive coordinator, if that makes sense. So Bobby Slowick will definitely have to show me something this week. These are the weeks that you have to be that offensive genius that you're supposed to be. Then you're rolling the Green Bay Knicks. So can Bobby Slowick scheme up a good run pass tempo and threat for that for this upcoming game? That's what I want to see from Bobby Slowick to get Mixon on the field. And I don't want to see Mixon having 30 carries. That's not needed. He needs to get in there. He needs to be limited in the game and just use the running back stable. Go with Cam Akers. Go with Dare. I mean, if they want to put Pierce out there, cool. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but I want to see what we're going to do as far as the game is concerned, how Bobby is going to come and answer those questions back out on the field. You know, all the injuries kind of scare you, but I want to see who is in that running back stable for this game. But the running backs can't do anything without the offensive line. Every offensive lineman on this team seems to get invigorated when we do get a good run game going. Shaq Mason actually had a pretty good game when he was able to dig his hand in the ground and start that running pressure. I believe we have what it takes. That tenacity and grit is in us, but it's not on us, you know, or vice versa. We just have to get after it. Kenyon Green, he was injured this week. Will he be able to play? I want to see what the mix will be with the offensive lineman. Laramie Tunsil had his vet days off this week. I don't think he likes to practice, but he cleaned up the discipline last week. I'm okay with that. But the offensive line, the health issues and the mixing and matching is better than last year, but I want to see it a little bit better. Hopefully Shaq Mason and everybody are able to kind of put the hand in the ground and go forward. Titus Howard was full at practice as well, so that's something to see. Titus Howard, Kenyon Green, Laramie Tunsil, hopefully all these guys are back on this field and they're able to dig their hand in the ground, and we can methodically come out this game healthy and on to Green Bay. And that's what we need from our squad. We need that from the team to come out there and lead this game healthy. My questions for the offensive line are discipline, health, and honestly, just the natural tenacity and grit. I don't want to see our running backs getting touched in the backfield every other play. That's extremely frustrating for me, and I can imagine for Bobby Slowick. Then that's why we getting these third and longs. He can't get anything started on the run. So it's a mixture between the offensive line and everybody having to get on the same page, and maybe just understanding the tempo that Slowick wants to run and what they're going to do. But I'm okay with what's going on. I'm excited for this game. I'm excited for us to see what we're going to do. This game will be one of those telltale signs of where the Texans are as an organization and a coaching staff led by D'Amico Ryans, and then you have the offensive mind of Bobby Slowick. I want to see if we're able to go in this game and get a statement win. Honestly, I don't foresee a blowout. A blowout will be great, but I don't want to go out here and just give this ball game away or make it close. It just needs to be a smothering game and the Texans come out healthy. That's what I want to see. The next man up mentality for the Texans has to be there. The betting odds for this game are in the Texans' favor. The Texans on the road, they're -7. I'm thinking about going with the Texans on that -7 right there, and probably going to get some receptions from one of our tight ends, probably the 2 receptions, seeing where the prop bet for Dalton Schultz or Cade Stover even to get those receptions in the game. I think this is going to be a great game. I want to see what's going to happen. The under is probably going to be a factor in this game because I just don't see New England scoring too much against this Texans defense. I'm Lance Hayes. It's Sports Social Live. Subscribe, like, share, salute.